Welcome to this session on Linux device driver compilation. This tutorial explains you how to create a Linux device driver and load it to the kernel. In order to do the same, make sure the following two files, ofd.c and makefile, is available with you. I am trying to put these two files in the Moodle login. Take the same files and try to compile it. So before you really do that process, create a directory and work in the particular directory actually. So here, the first file, ofd.c, contains what is referred as the init module and the exit module. Any particular kernel, loadable kernel module that we are going to create should have this basic two functions, an init module and an exit module. This indicates what is its particular function. In this particular definition, in the init function, we are trying to print some information to the kernel. Print k is a command which prints the information to the kernel. So this particular function of init will introduce you to OFD is registered, and exit function will indicate OFD is unregistered. And next you can see that we have a makefile. This makefile has the set of instructions to create the kernel object file. So let us start compiling these two files. Actually, how to build a first device driver. In order to do that, as discussed in the earlier tutorial, you should be aware of what is lsmod, which indicates the basic functions of lsmod, list the modules, and insmod, inserting the modules, rmmod, removing the module. These three commands are essential, and also to understand, I have already summed up what are the basic device driver functions that was discussed already there. And very essentially, before you really compile it, this is very essential. This cat is the kernel source here is indicated in the user src linux. This particular directory definition differs from person to person accordingly how he has installed the Linux. So I'll explain you how to modify this particular kernel source. Okay, so you can basically understand what is your kernel using the command uname-r. Okay, so in my case it indicates that I am in this particular Linux, I'm using this particular generic Linux kernel version 3.13, and here migrate to the directory cd space usr slash. Okay, here you can see the source src, and again you can see my particular kernel version is located. What is the version? 63. So this particular Linux kernel version is 3.13063 generic. So I got to move to right. Now this is where my kernel files are located. You can see all the kernel related files are here, and the kernel itself is here. So these are the informations relating to the kernel. Okay, so you can get to know all the informations over here. So how do you actually modify the path of the Linux kernel header file? Is that So find your working directory, you copy this line and make use of gedit. Come back actually to the program where it is located, home, documents, so this ofd.c is the file that we are working on. So make use of gedit ofd.c. I'm sorry, there replace the kernel file information. Now you can see your kernel file has been modified with the particular path. This has to be modified, only then the make will. Now let's compile the make file. So you can see that there's something that's getting generated here. Let's go back and see what are the files that has been generated. You can see a lot of files generated. ofd.o, modules, module.c, system versions, ko. So this is the file that we have to patch to the Linux kernel. To do so, to understand how to patch the WAN to Linux kernel, first the ls mod will give you what are the files that is available, what are the modules that are available already in the kernel. Let us see, is there any module by the name ls mod grep ofd. Well, we don't find anything. Now let's insert the module into the kernel. Okay, so to do that, you should be a root user, take those privileges. Now let's issue the command. Now you see your module is printed to the kernel. What did it do? To understand it, make use of this dmesg ofd. So it was added to the kernel. Okay, forward about other activities, but basically something has been added to the kernel. To understand it in a deeper sense, you can give this command. Okay, so now let's remove the module from the kernel. Sudo rm mod ofd. So now you can see nothing is there. Okay, so also you see that module is registered, module is unregistered. So that gives you an understanding of how to basically compile a Linux kernel. Okay.